So we are going to have folks calling in that were at Augusta, or even a couple other folks who have good stories about how they watched this whole thing unfold. So let's do this. Let's get to the calls. We are going to begin with, I believe, a very good friend of the program, Mr. Kyle Rudolph for the Minnesota Vikings.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Really?
Big fan of Barstool, big friend of Barstool, tight end for the Minnesota Vikings, one of the best in the league, I might add. And also, congratulations on your MVP last week.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt like I had a big reputation to uphold after our conversation at Cowboy Jacks.
So we were chirping him all the time. He's saying, he's this big basketball player in high school and all that. And he kind of had to make the decision between basketball and football, playing like the celebrity game for March Madness. And we were chirping him like, it's impossible to live up to expectations. You never should have told anybody this. He went out and won MVP in the whole game.
Hell yeah.
It's well done.
So
I took Big Cat's advice. I went with a dunk and
Threw it off the backboard.
my first shot. They had a 4-point shot. It was like 31 feet away, and I was like, I gotta launch this first because it's either like if you make it like, oh my god, like this guy can play, or if you miss it, it's 31 feet away. Everybody's like, who cares?
Good strategy.
no, that's a good strategy. That's smart.
Yeah, check it up, and even if you miss, then you're like, I'm gonna follow this miss up with one off the backboard. I'm gonna slam it home.
So Kyle, you're obviously a big golf guy. We played in your charity golf event a couple years ago up in Minneapolis.
Winsong Farm.
Great spot.
Great spot.
Really good spot to play some golf.
Gorgeous golf course.
Oh, it's awesome. You were down at Augusta. Tell us how you witnessed Sunday at the Masters.
So Sunday, I got there nice and early. And for those of you that have not been to Augusta, like one of the coolest like traditions, if you would, is the chairs. Like you can put your chair there and no one touches it, no one moves it. You can leave whatever you want on your chair. So you can put your chair down first thing in the morning and then go walk around. And so that's what we did. We put chairs down in between the 16 tee and green, facing the green on the left side of the water. And you sitting in where we put chairs, you could see approach shots on 15 into the par 5 green. You could see the green on 15, 16, tee shots on 17, and the par 3 6th, which is behind the 16 green. So we put our chairs down, and then we walked over to Amen Corner. It was kind of a unique Masters because they went off 1 and 10. So right away we could go over and see people coming down 11, 12, 13. So watched there for a little while, and then once the leaders got on the course, walked back over. When we got over to our seats, Ricky and DJ were on 6, and then we stayed there until Tiger came over. And then we posted up there in between the 16 tee and green.
So you're at the best spot on the golf course.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, So when we were sitting there watching Tiger play 6, there was like a huge roar on 16. And like I said, those were the guys that went off on 10. So they really weren't in contention to win the tournament. So you're like, all right, that had to be an ace. That wasn't just like a good shot roar. That was people going crazy. And sure enough, that was Bryson's hole-in-one. And then after Tiger finished 6, we went back to our seats on 16, camped out there for the day, got to see JT's hole-in-one, which was like one of the most incredible things. He bogeys 15, which no one does that. Like, it's a very gettable par 5. Throws his club onto his bag, storms off the green before Phil or John Rahm finish, goes to the bathroom behind 16T, and then walks up and hits an ace. I'm like, well, that's how you turn things around, I guess.
That's outrageous. I didn't know any of that. Good for JT. Yeah, that was so he actually, it was funny. He was on our show in like January. He was telling us how he's got all these bets with Brooks Koepka. One of them was like, who's going to have an albatross? Another one was who's going to have a hole-in-one. And JT made that bet, and he won a huge bet off Brooks Koepka for making the hole-in-one on 16.
I'll say, what a better place to get it, too. I mean, you just getting a hole-in-one in general and having it in an actual round at Augusta is incredible.
So then after that, I mean, you're chilling on 16. I assume as Tiger's kind of making his way through Amen Corner and getting closer to you guys?
Yeah, so it's incredible because, like, you have your little sheet, and, you can't have your phone, so it's not like you can follow along on your phone. But you hear the crowd from like different parts of the course. And once you kind of get a feel for where you are and where the different holes are on the golf course, so you hear a couple big roars there around Amen Corner, and you're like, all right, this thing's getting close. Like Tiger's playing well. They're coming from Tiger, and sure enough, there they come out. 15. Tiger's right there on the right side of the fairway. Molinari's over there in the trees. He cuts all the way across the fairway into the left rough and then in the water, and we're watching Tiger make birdie on 15 and then walks up and just, from where we were sitting, I thought his shot on 16 was going to drop. Like, it was just tracking straight towards the hole. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, we're going to watch Tiger Woods get a hole on at the Masters. And obviously it didn't go in, but then he made a huge birdie on 16 to take a 2-shot lead.
When he was, when they posted like Molinari's double on 12, because all you guys see over there is the scoreboard. Were people going crazy?
It's nuts. So, like, Tiger, I forget which birdie he made, but we were sitting there on 16, and there's a big scoreboard behind the 15 green. And I forget who was on 15 green, but they were standing over a putt, and they, like, when you can see when they pull back the scoreboard to put a number and post a number up, and they pulled Tiger's back, and literally, like, there was a buzz, and the guy closes it without putting a number in. And you're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, he's teasing us? Like, and sure enough, like, I guarantee you the guy sitting next to him was like, hey, you can't post this birdie for Tiger yet because the crowd's going to go crazy, and so-and-so's about ready to make a putt on 15. Like, it's unbelievable the impact that just Tiger has in general. I think, one of the cool stories from Saturday, Tiger also birdied 16 on Saturday, and I forget who was in the rough. Someone was in the rough or the right bunker on 15, and their caddy literally walked over. We were standing right there to the right of the hole, and he said, hold on, Tiger's about to putt. Like, he stopped him from taking his shot on 15 because he knew Tiger was going to nail that birdie putt, and that whole area was going nuts just for Tiger. It was crazy.
Oh, man, that's awesome. On Tiger's shot on 16, I mean, was that like the loudest shit you've ever heard?
Oh, it was crazy. Like I said, like the first roar when Bryson made a hole-in-one, you were like, okay, like that was pretty loud for this early in the morning. Obviously if they're on the back, they're not in contention to win. So it was like that was big, and then JT's hole-in-one was pretty loud. But then, just the initial roar when Tiger sticks it so close to the hole, but then just as he walked all the way up to, line up his birdie putt, it was like people just didn't stop cheering. Like, it was just so loud.
That's so awesome. So then after he finishes 16, what'd you guys like, try to chase him up 18, or how'd you play it after that?
So we had passes for Berkman's place, which is behind, if you go up the hill where 16 is, behind 5 green. So they have like 4 bars, like a pub in there. And so as soon as he got past us on 16, he made his birdie putt. I'm pretty sure we didn't even watch Molinari after his putt. Like, we just took off and ran up there we actually got there before his tee shot on 17. And then, when he put that tee shot right in the middle of the fairway with a wedge in his hand, you were like, he's just dialed in. Like, there's no way he's blowing a 2-shot lead.
Man, that is just so awesome. God, I'm jealous you were there. That's got to be the coolest sporting event you've ever been to.
No question. And just it was my first time ever at Augusta.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
Just being there, like, I tell people, you could go for a practice round, a Thursday or a Friday, and when you watch it on TV as many years as I had, you have such an appreciation for the course, and then being there in person, you get to see things that you don't see on TV. And so taking in the Masters for the first time was incredible no matter what. And I think you could argue that was one of the best Masters ever. I mean, the 100%. Names on the leaderboard, how close everybody was, and then icing on the cake is Tiger winning it.
Well, Sir Nick Faldo said that'll be the greatest Masters scene forever. So You were there.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to top my first one. There's no way.
That's unbelievable.
All right. Kyle Rudolph, Minnesota Vikings tight end. I know you're a big family man, so we're taking you away from your family time and all that. Thank you for taking the time, my friend. We appreciate it as always.
Absolutely, guys. Always a pleasure to chat. Have a good one.
All right, Kyle.
Enjoy.
You too. Thanks, pal.